Maxing stats in Hypixel Skyblock is always really fun. Whether it's maxing your damaging stats so you can do crazy numbers to the hub zombies, or maxing your health and defense so you can survive crazy hits, it's always fun to test and revel at your craziest, most pointless achievements. That's why today we're going to be attempting to max some of the silliest stats, just to see what effect they have on our gameplay. Alright, you've got to guess where I am. I know a really difficult one. I'm in Galatea. And today, we are not maxing any foraging stats at all. But we're going to be maxing a combination of stats, and that combination of stats kind of equates to, what I would call becoming a fish. Might sound stupid, but hear me out. If we max our respiration, it will extend our underwater breathing period. And if we also aim to max our pressure resistance, it will reduce the effect of diving, and pressure will build up 81% slower because we have 81 pressure, but just wait until we have more. This is going to be epic. So if we max both of those stats, surely we can just basically live underwater. Like, we'll probably just develop gills and that. And to be honest, for this, the wiki is absolutely our best friend. What I'm going to do is go through all of the respiration sources and all of the pressure resistance sources, and I'll come back to you once we've maxed or got as close to maxing both stats as possible. Right, so we've been able to max all of respiration except one particular source. And that is all of the fish that we have to donate to Coral, because I was missing quite a lot. Now, I believe every single fish that we donate is 2 respiration, and also it's Skyblock XP, which is great. Something I didn't really think about. You already have... Some of these fish I've never donated, which is kind of weird because they're just not there, but they're saying that I already have. Anyway, we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some of them are ridiculously expensive. Like some of them are in the hundreds of millions, and some of them you just can't buy at all. There's none listed. And that means that we are actually missing out on around about 16 respiration from these missing fish. So some of the sources of respiration we've got is the Abyssal armor with respiration 4 on the helmet. We've got a frog pet, which is giving us 10 respiration. We've got the deep diving shard, sorry, should I say the joyride shard, which is giving us 50 respiration. And we've also got the respiration artifact, which is giving us 30 respiration. Which means that in total, we've achieved 248 respiration, which is, I think, pretty high. Considering the max is 264 because we are missing 16 respiration from those fish that we can't get, I'm quite happy with that. Okay, now we got to get some pressure resistance. But just before we do that, if you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS as it gets yourself 5% off. If you watch the videos and you haven't subscribed, please make sure to do so. You should join the Discord server, it's linked in the description of this video. We offer slayers and dungeon carries, so if you need carries or want to carry and make some coins, make sure to join. And like I said for this, the wiki is absolutely our best friend. We can see all the different sources of pressure resistance. We're going to go through them all and tick them off. Well, first of all, we already have the perk shop maxed out, so we have 30 pressure resistance coming from here. Once again, the Abyssal armor is giving us quite a lot of pressure resistance. And we've gone ahead and put Scuba 5 on all of our armor, which is giving us 5 pressure resistance per piece. We've got the pressure artifact, which is giving us 30 pressure resistance. We just maxed out our extreme pressure Lumi squid shard, giving us 50 pressure resistance there. And we've made sure to max out our pressure resistance attribute in the heart of the forest tree, giving us 50 pressure resistance too. And I believe that should be us at completely max pressure resistance, I think. And yeah, our pressure resistance is 260, which is really good. What this means is we will only start to feel the effects of the pressure when we're 52 blocks underwater, and also our pressure will build up 260% slower. I think there's only one thing for it. I think we've got to go take a dip and see what happens. I've got a plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a timer just as I jump into the water. I'm going to dive down to the bottom and I'm going to swim around. And we're going to see how long it takes for us to die from pressure or suffocation, whichever one happens first. Well, I've just realised that we aren't 52 blocks under the water, which means that we're not going to feel any effects of the pressure. As you can see, it's not increased at all. We've been under the water for almost a minute. So it's more likely just going to be how long it's going to take us to suffocate. And you can see in the bottom right corner, our bar's about halfway done. So I estimate we can spend about 2 minutes underwater, as long as we don't go past 52 blocks underwater. It's kind of cool. Okay, now we're starting to die, but we've still got quite a decent amount of health to burn through, I guess. Right, well, we just died. We survived 2 minutes and 31 seconds just swimming around the murk water, like shallows, the lock area. Just this bit without going any further underwater, which I think is pretty damn impressive. I do want to go ahead, though, and test our pressure resistance when we go past 52 blocks underwater. So if we find one of these areas where we can go down further. Is this one, or is this just a loop? This seems just like a loop. Okay, yeah, now we're more than 52 blocks underwater. You can see our pressure is still building relatively quickly, but it's really, really easy to make it to the dragon's nest. Or the dragon's lair, should I say. We were only at 34% pressure. I don't know, these two stats kind of max not only are going to be really, really useful for hunting in this area, but just pretty cool as well, right? I think it is. I don't know, you guys can let me know in the comments, did I come close to being a fish or not? Well, if we consult some world records, we can see the record time for holding your breath underwater is just over 29 minutes by a Croatian man. That's pretty impressive. However, when you actually look at this, achieved after breathing pure oxygen for 10 minutes prior to the attempt. Right, that's kind of cheating, you know. We weren't breathing pure oxygen before we became a fish. I think this is more of an actual proper record. 11 minutes and 35 seconds. So I guess no, we did not come near the world record. And no, we probably aren't really close to being a fish either. Anyway, moving on. Okay, the next thing we're going to try and work on is trying to get as close to max hunting fortune as we can. Considering our current hunting fortune is only 88, we have quite a lot of work to do. But what does hunting fortune actually do? What this basically means is that the number that you have for hunting fortune is the chance for double drops. Now, I assume once we go over 100, we'll probably see very soon, that it probably kind of works similar to ferocity in a way, where we'll be at a point where we'll have 100% chance to double drops, and then whatever we are over 100% chance to drop 3. And of course, what we're talking about is shards from when we're hunting, well, you know, monsters or mobs or whatever you want to call them. Now, first of all, we're hunting 25, and each hunting level gives you 1 hunter fortune. So that's pretty important. That's 25 hunter fortune right there. Right, the next thing we've gone ahead and we found our David's cloak, which was in the museum. Now, this has given us 28 hunter fortune, but at max it can give 30, and we haven't quite maxed our David's cloak. So we are missing 2 hunter fortune here. And as you can see here, here's the 2 that we're missing. Okay, so one thing that is letting us down is we only have a burning Kudra core. I was convinced I had an infernal Kudra core, but we don't even have a fiery. Nevertheless, a fiery Kudra core would give us 1 extra hunting fortune, and an infernal will give us 2 extra. So we're missing out on 2 hunting fortune here, which I guess in the grand scheme is not a massive issue. Okay, so obviously there's a lot of shards that contribute towards hunting fortune, but obviously they're not really global. Other than Hunter's Karma, everything else is situational. So it's going to grant you more hunting fortune towards, well, different types of shards. Which I assume is not actually going to show in the physical hunting stat, which is a shame. So what I've been doing is I've filtered to hunting, and I've basically just been going through all of the shards that are going to give us hunting fortune in some capacity, and maxing them out. Now I've got to the point where I've kind of bankrupted myself. I don't know if there's any more that I've missed. Black hole, yeah. We've not got that. Is there any other ones that we've missed? We've already got that one, which is nice. I mean, regardless, we've got 19 mil left, which means that we've ended up with 117 hunter fortune. Now I've got to say there aren't a massive amount of sources of hunter fortune. Of course, against certain shards, we could be getting plus 20 onto whatever this is, so it could be more like 37, so 137, so a guaranteed double drop and a 37% chance at a triple drop. For other shards, it would be more like 27 because their stat only increases hunting fortune by 10 rather than 20. So I think we're going to go ahead and see how this works in practice. How many of these mobs that we can hunt and get 3 shards from, hopefully. Of course, then we're kind of hitting a bit of the jackpot. Oh, there we go. Shell-wise, 3 shards. Cool. How about just some of the easier ones? 2 shards. I mean, it's going to mainly be 2 rather than 3. Now, what I will say is having this crazy respiration and pressure resistance and good hunting fortune is just a really, really nice combination. I've been, you know, contemplating doing a bit more hunting on my Iron Man at the moment because there are shards that we need, and wow, it's so painful with just gear that isn't as good as this compared to how easy this is. Yeah, wow. And we got 3 shards again from the Shellwise. Crazy luck. We got another 3 sharder. Actually, Shellwise might actually be good for money. Because Shellwise might be decent for money. It really might be, still. But we got 4 Shellwise shards from that one. It was a bit more of a healthier one, though. But anyway, that's going to be just about all for today's video. Now, it was kind of random, but hopefully it was somewhat enjoyable. And yeah, fun fact, if you pretty much max respiration and pressure resistance, it's actually quite OP, especially for hunting in the water. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.